I did say I would make a video for modding the Baritone. I didn't say that it would be good. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Zachariah Connor, and I'm so glad that you have decided to click on this video and join me. Today we're going to be doing something I've wanted to do for a long time. A lot of stuff got in the way, oh well. We're going to be replacing the stock wiring harness in my Squier Paranormal Cabronita Baritone Telecaster, whatever this long guy is. This guy. So I have owned Bari, as I have called him, since, I don't know, I want to say sometime last year I bought him. I think somewhere in the middle of the summer. I think it was July or August or something. I bought this guitar. Maybe it was June. I don't even know. I can't remember. But anyway, I bought this guitar last year sometime, and I made some videos about it. You can watch those here if you're interested. I made a first impressions video and then a review. Please watch the review if you haven't. I talk about all kinds of stuff in there. And I've been loving this guitar so far. When I've had the chance to play guitar, it seems like life is just happening. Lots of, being a PhD student is no joke. But you're not here to hear me complain about that. You're here to see what I do to this guy. So the stock wiring harness has some questionable choices. There's mini pots. Now, I've complained about mini pots in the past, and I don't think the size of the pots necessarily matters, but I think it's the quality of the potentiometers that are inside. Just they're cheaper. Generally, the one when they put small pots on a guitar, they're generally cheap. And so that's why we have a bad taste of them in our mouths. The ones that were in here are definitely cheap because it's a cheap guitar. So I aim to replace those today along with this switch, which is also cheap. And it was having an issue where I would flick it to the bridge and it would pop right back. So hopefully we can put a high quality all parts one, medium quality, shall we say, all parts one in here today and fix that issue. And then we'll be also replacing the much maligned output jack, which, come on, lose my face. There we go. You can see that guy is a real pain in my rear because it doesn't allow you to put in a 90-degree right angle connector, right angle plug, instrument cable plug into there. So I aim to fix that as well. So come along with me on the journey, and we will film everything. And we'll just walk through replacing most of the wiring harness today. So. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not going to do super scientific tests before and afterwards, but I'll just play that chord progression with the same patches on my pedal board. And you can find the David Hyslop IRs that I am using down in the description box. So you can buy those from David Hyslop. Apparently he's been getting scammed. A lot of people are reselling his IRs, so don't do that. That's kind of scummy. I'm just running through my pedal board with the Golden Boy and the Bit Commander and the SP Comp and the DD500 and RV500, and it's going good. So, yeah, thanks for all of the support, and we'll see you in the teardown video. We have the parts here, so I have a bunch of stuff. We got 500K audio taper motor tone pots. We have a 0.047 microfarad kind of Dijon cap in there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. We have an all-parts switch I bought a long time ago, and then we have this electro socket cup, which we're going to replace the output jack with. So let's start by removing, I'm just going to remove all of the components here. Now I don't actually have to take the strings off, which is kind of nice because the electronics I'm not taking the pickups out. So let's just begin by disassembling everything. I'm going to heat up my iron. Okay, so that's out. We need to take these guys. The potentiometers have the knobs, sorry, have little set screws in them. So I'm just going to remove those. I actually have another set of knobs here to match my other telly, which look like that. So we'll continue onward. I am a firm believer in learning how to do maintenance on your own guitar, and that's why I like cheap guitars, because it's really easy to do that stuff on them and not get terrified that you're going to mess it up because it's a cheaper guitar. Okay, so all of my components are loosened. So next, let's flip the guitar over and remove the back panel, and we can really get into it. Oh, one more thing. We need to get the output jack out. So for this one, we're gonna need some needle nose pliers. Leatherman has been found. Okay, so let's have a look. So basically the way this works is that the jack is held in place with the nut on the end, and I guess I do have a socket, so I could have used that, but I'm just gonna use my Leatherman today, and we'll just get in here and take it out. This footage is not very good, as you can tell, but that's okay. This is really awkward to hold the guitar on the bench like this and then try to also remove the thing, and And the Leatherman is also very heavy and bendy, which doesn't help either. Okay, so we've removed this guy and the nut and the washer. Now I think this could be salvaged if you were to get the jack to stick out of the hole further, but it's really not, so I'm going to push that in there. And we need to get this guy out, which I'm kind of unsure of what's the best course of action. I think we'll bend it in, we'll push it in, and then we'll pull it out, because I think if I just were to try to pull it out now, it would kind of make a mess. But we could try that. Let's see what we can do. I think it will probably damage the guitar. I'll try to back it out. It's kind of spiky, so we'll get to that later, I think. This backplate's like in here so good I can barely get a fingernail in to lift it out. It's like such a good fit that it's impossible to get up. I'll have to use gravity. There we go. Got it. Okay, so here is the switch. Okay, so now we have the wiring harness open and we can kind of take stuff out a little bit. So here we have the three-way switch, and then we'll pull up the pots. It's nothing crazy, I don't think. So yeah, basically here's one pickup wire here. This would be the bridge, and then this other guy with the yellow is the neck. I can tell that because its wire connects to this and then this. So back is going to open the front one, which is the neck, and then this way is going to open this one. By open I mean breaking the circuit, not the other way. I want to desolder the pickup wires from the switch because we need the pickups disconnected. Alright, I'm gonna go for it. Let's take the bridge wire off. Cool. I need to get at the ground, which is done really poorly. Okay. Bridge pickup is free. Now I think in a perfect world, I would probably replace the pickup wires too, but I don't really have the time or the desire to do that today. Just gonna focus on the other parts of the wiring harness. Okay, so both pickups are free, and I can. Okay, the last thing that we need to focus on. The jack. There's the jack. We need to disconnect the ground wire that goes to the bridge. Ooh, they may have done the sneaky sneak. Just connect. Let's take this. They may have connected the wire in two places, both to the pot and to the lug on the pot. So we'll just see here. Yep, they did that. Saves money, I guess. It's an interesting conductor. It's a single conductor for the ground wire. You can see that it's one conductor, which is pretty uncommon, I guess, on cheaper guitars. Okay, so let's get all this out of the way. So all of this stuff is fine. It's not horrible, but we're gonna replace all the cavity. Is free, so we're gonna have to do some drilling here in a second to widen these holes to make room for the bigger pots, and I'll show you that. I've already tested this before, I believe. So let's get our components out over here. Okay, so the new pots have the bigger like American-sized shafts. So you can tell by the size of these guys, it's a bit larger around. So that means we'll have to drill out the holes, these holes in the body, because when I put it in, it's not going through. Thankfully, this hole, I believe, is big enough for the all parts three-way toggle. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that goes through nicely. We're also going to change it to be up and down because there's really just no room in this cavity to do it sideways. It just isn't making a lot of sense to have it like that and have the wires be like crammed in here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it could work this way. I'm just not loving this arrangement. Okay, we need to deal with the jack hole though. This thing needs to get removed somehow. So I'm not really sure what the best approach is. If I should bend it inwards and then try to come out. Oh, well, that worked. I guess I got it out. So this thing is removed. So now we have a nice hole with which to put our new jack into. Let's test the hole. I think I've tested this before, but not without that claw thing removed. So we'll see how it fits. I think we can kind of press it in a little bit, and yeah, this might take some sanding because it's still sticking out quite a lot. Or some, might need to borrow a mallet or some, no? We're getting it in, so I need to take it back out. What? Okay, hold on. Need to push it out the other way. Okay. I think once that goes in there, it will be difficult to remove. Okay, so we got the wires hanging out over here. Our goal is to not drill into them, but I'm gonna reverse drill, and that will be the best, I think the best way of getting these holes enlarged without doing serious damage. Great. See, reverse drilling preserves the finish at the hole, like so, reasonably so. Okay, let's do the other one. Cool, drama free. So let's test. And that fits. Great. A little too well. Great. This is the worst. Okay, maybe the hole needs to be enlarged a tiny bit more. It'll be fine. Okay, let's test the other hole as well. Okay, it's a tight fit, but it is fitting. So, okay, let's work on building our wiring harness. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pots in the holes here so that we can get an idea for how far apart everything needs to be, and the switch, of course, as well. Right. So I kind of want to use this and I can feel in the cavity, and I'll look into it later, what is the best. So I'm going to have up and down for the switch, although I really do like forward and back. So maybe that's what I will do, is I'll adjust it so that it's this way or this way. I'm still unsure of exactly what I should do, but I really want to get my wire lengths kind of good. So we'll have a ground wire. Oh, and we also need the jack as well. That's kind of important. So our jack is going to be over here, and this one is just a mono, I believe it's mono. Yeah, it's a mono jack. So we have the ring. Wow, that was bad. Okay, so it's a mono jack. We have a ring, the ring terminal, and then the tip terminal. So this connects to this. This connects to the ring of the cable. Okay, so roughly we're gonna have about this much distance for the wire. So I have my wire from Baritone, and I've got 15 feet of this vintage cloth pushback wire. I paid for it. Baritone is not sponsoring me. So I'm gonna need to have wire going from the output of the jack to here. So wire that I'm gonna say roughly about this much length. So I can go ahead and cut that. Where are my strippers at? Wire strippers at. Okay, so this is my volume to output jack wire. And then I will need one that goes from the output of jack or of the switch. I'm gonna do worst case scenario, which would be like about this much, maybe that much length. So in case I wanted to wrap up to there, and then, you know, so about that length. So roughly the same. Okay, those are both white wires. And then the pickups will connect there. So those are, and then I need one more, which would go to the tone. And this is, I guess worst case scenario would be this length, but I'm gonna have the pots facing the same way. So I think about that much. Okay, so that's my white wires that I need. I'm not changing the pickup wires at all, so I'm not going to worry about that. So wrap this back up. Bundle it over there, and then we need our black wire. So generally we use white for signal and black for ground. So the ground wires will need one that runs from this lug, so I guess worst case scenario, to the volume pot and to the tone pot. I'm thinking of doing just one and cutting through the insulation here and splitting it, and then I can solder it there, and then here as well, and that would be a nice clean solution. Then we'll need a similar length to go from the jack to the pot. I guess you could accomplish this with one wire, but I recommend against doing something like that. Okay, so I think we can do it with 1, 2, and that should be it. Okay, so we've cut those to length. Where is my tone cap? And then here's our capacitor, and it's gonna run through, it's gonna be something like that, and then we'll have to bend this guy around to here, I think. So I'll cut that when I get there. But yeah, so now I can take the guitar away and we can focus on just getting the electronics wired together. But I've trimmed all my lengths of my wires, so I know in advance, so I know where everything's gonna, you know, I'm not gonna have to worry about the lengths of the wire. So I'm gonna take the guitar away, solder everything else together first, and then we'll get on with putting the components into the guitar. Now the jack, I need to remember, actually no, it's fine. We can, I think I may need some extra, ooh, I may have made a mistake. I kind of needed some extra to get this out of the hole. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lengthen the white wires, white and black wires, and might cut some longer ones because I need to get this out of the hole, screw on the electro socket thing, and then push it back in. So I need more than just wire that's this long. It needs to be like here at least. So that was a mistake. Let's get on with doing our harness. So we'll start with, and then we're gonna attach the other stuff later. Now I'm trying to figure out, let me get the guitar back in here, and I need to have a look at the inside of the cavity again. Always it doesn't hurt to look at, you know, make sure that you're doing everything right beforehand. Okay, so I can see that there's not very much space over here next to this. Down here, we can see that there's not very much space here, so this pot basically has to face this way. I have no other choice. I can't face it that way or that way or that way. It has to face this way. Great. The jack, The jack could face the wall, but it's very low clearance, and I don't really want wires contacting the wall. So I'm gonna face it this way, and it might make it a little more cramped in here, but I would rather have that than have risk, grounding the hot wires. Then as for, I think I'm gonna face the tone pot at the, could go this way with it too, because there's plenty of, like, you see how long these pickup wires are? It's like completely overkill. So I'm gonna shorten these by quite a bit, I think, as well. The neck one's not too bad. The bridge one is out of control. Like, that is so long. And then this guy could also get shortened too, because it's just connecting to one of these dudes. Maybe I'll put it in here. That might be a nice spot for it. Make it easier to take off. But yeah, I think I'll go with this arrangement because I have tons of hookup wire, and I can. So let's double check that I have that my short white wire, second shortest. Let's see if we got this one. Yeah, this one will easily reach the output jack, or reach that guy. The output jack, though, I need a longer piece of white wire. Let's measure that. So I want to get like about there. That's a good spot for me. And then I'll need a black wire that's about the same length. Never hurts to have a tiny bit extra on the ones that connect to parts that you need to move around a little bit. Okey-doke. Okay, so it's always the middle lug, but in this case, this will be our input over here, not this one, because I have them facing the same direction instead of at each other. But I'm gonna go, I could do this where I put it in here and then ground to here, but I think I like having them separated a little bit more with more independence. So I'm gonna go like that and just put it on top of the pot. So I need to trim this guy here. And then trim this one roughly there. Okay, so it should sit on the pot like this. And let's tilt this so it doesn't fall off. And then let's connect this back one. And the last thing is getting this one connected to the volume pot. Okay, let's test the continuity on these bad bobs. Turn this back on. Check between here and here. Okay, it's hard to get the tips to agree. 3 to 4. Test here to here. 3 ohms. Can't see it on camera, but I saw that it worked. Okay, let's clean up. And then let's put it back in the guitar and we'll connect everything else up. Okay, ciao for now. We have our guitar and let's go ahead and put some of the components in, shall we? This is gonna be a little bit difficult because I don't have much to stand the guitar off of while I insert the components. So I think I may have to make do with some screwdrivers or something. Please judge me very, very harshly in the comments section because I kind of deserve it for being such a butt to my guitar. Okay, now I have stood it off on top of screwdrivers. Okay, so now we can put the wiring harness in the guitar, which it will definitely fit. And I think we've done our job on making sure everything was up to snuff. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's bend some of these wires. Okay, let's have a look on the outside. What does it look like? So, I'm having trouble getting the pots up through the holes because the holes are a bit tight. But I've gotten the 3-way switch to poke out. The holes on the pots need a little bit of massaging in order for the pots to fit properly. So I'll have to take everything back out. That's okay. We tested it. We were conservative with the holes and we didn't go too nuts on widening them, which I think is probably a good thing. There we go. That should help. Let's once again test. Test it before on the top. Yeah, that's a little... Oh man. Okay, it's apparently not that much better. Now they're really stuck in there. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is classic Zach modifying a guitar gone wrong again. Okay, so after much frustration, gnashing of teeth, and anger, I got them in, and got them out, and then got them back in, and the finish did not survive very well. As you can see, I took out a chunk here, and took out a chunk here. This one was from getting the tone pot pulled that way, and this one was from pushing the volume pot in this way. So I don't know. I thought these would be 3/8, and I didn't think that it would be an issue. But I guess, I don't know, the middle of the hole wasn't very big because if you rotate around, it's gonna pivot about some point, and I think that was the middle. So I'm unsure of I need to get better at this stuff because I want to be able to take care of other people's guitars, and if I keep doing this stuff, that's just never going to happen, because why would you want someone like me to take care of your guitar? Okay, thankfully it's all smaller than the washer, so I can cover it right up, and no one will know the difference. Okay, the last thing we have to do is connect this ground to something, and I'm gonna go to the tone pot because that's where there's the most space. So yeah, let's put this guy in. And finally wrangled the freaking pickup. I should have just replaced the pickup wires, because the hookup wires, because they're such a pain in my rear. And yeah, that was a mistake for not doing that. But now I know for next time, just change them out. It'll save you a lot of frustration and time. It really is that the hindsight is 2020. After I pounded this guy in with the hammer, I realized, might be kind of hard to get out. And I have done something rather grievous by press fitting this in here. No one is gonna be able to remove it. So that's good. So let's get these screws. I don't know, I think the length and the quality of the wires that are attached to the jack are such that unless the jack itself completely fails, which can happen, but it will probably be a long time before that does happen, I wouldn't have to remove anything. My hope is that that day will never come, and I will be okay with it. Again, so lessons learned is that maybe enlarge the hole with a drill type device rather than, but I don't have a drill press here. I don't have, and I'm definitely not going to do it by hand, and I don't have a bit that's going to do that either. So I'm just going to put some screws just to make sure that the socket doesn't work its way out. Secure it in there. Okay, that is firmly in there, and I believe it will accept a 90-degree jack. So let me grab my Divine Noise cable. Uh-oh. We have a blockage. This is good. I think the wire's in the way of the tip guy. Yes, they are. Okay, let's try that. Oh no, it's not going in. Trying to blow the dust out of the cavity so we don't have any issues. I tested it just a little bit now. I'll put that audio in. Okay, we got this on. Let's find our screws, put it back together. I'll put the knobs on. We'll be good to go. This didn't quite go as I planned, but I don't know. I think it's more functional now. I can use a 90-degree plug. That's really what I was after. Let's do the fun part, which is knobs. Turn these up all the way. All the people who have watched like my super cinematic and nice content, not cinematic, I guess the pedalboard video I like to call cinematic. YouTubers need to stop using that when they don't know what they're talking about, though. I will say that. Look at that. Look at those knobs. Those look great. Okay, so we got the new tip, or the same tip on the old switch. So now it goes up and down instead of back and forth, but it feels really great, really positive. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to face the screws up at me. Come off the body a tiny bit. Ooh, that's dragging on something. Maybe it's just the pot. Needs to get worked in. Okay, and the nice thing about these pots, or these knobs, is that they have the little set screws so that you don't have to like shove them onto the pots. So it preserves the life of the pot a little bit more by not imparting all that mechanical stress. And then it also is nice because I can change the direction very precisely, and it's very easy to take on and off as long as I have the right tools. Okay, let me test it with headphones one more time. And I think we'll, let's see if it sounds any different. I don't know that it will, but let's do that. See that lug that has nothing attached to it? That normally should have a connection to ground. So I'm gonna just take this wire here, too close, and I'm going to put it in that hole, and then I'm gonna put the other end on this top of the pot. Okay, so now I have a connection. This little wire is connected to that lug and then to the pot. So it should be good to go. Let's test it. Okay, I fixed the volume pot issue. I grounded that third lug. Let's test with some drive. back from the modification time, and it was, I guess I just need to plan this stuff better, because I thought I was doing a pretty good job at it, and I've been thinking about it for a really long time, like months. I had the parts just sitting there, just waiting to go in, and then the holes I couldn't drill big enough, and then there were some soldering missteps, and then I guess I just decided that I wanted to get this video done and just press fit this guy in here, just press fitting the jack in, the jack plate in the electro socket. I think may have not been the best decision in regards to the future of this instrument, because it means that it will be pretty difficult to get out of the guitar since I hammered it in. But I don't know, maybe I can hammer it out using a punch or something from the other side. So I think all in all, I'll be decently okay with it. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video of me sucking at doing guitar modifications to my Squier Paranormal Cabronita Baritone Telecaster. I'm pretty happy with the results, and aside from my few missteps, and thanks for watching. I have more things planned for the future, but you know, I got a busy life, so I'm just uploading when I can, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks.